Hello, welcome to another episode of Now You See Me, the show where we redefine beauty from the inside out. From the inside, if we're cleaning up from the inside out, then all of the beauty and the maturity and the wisdom is going to just glow on you. And people are going to be drawn to you because you're healed and you're set free and you're delivered. I want to talk to you today about your zeal and you not losing your zeal. Whatever you do, we're to do it heartily and we're to do it unto the Lord. And I know some of you who are listening are not believers, but whatever you do, and you do it with all your might and your heart, and you're doing it as a service to other people, that thing is going to work well in your life. It's going to work well in your soul. It's going to work well in your spirit. There's going to be a contentment that comes when you are working to the fullest, to your 100%. Whatever you do it well. Do it without complaining. Do it without murmuring. Whatever you do it with your whole heart and not half-heartedly. There was a poll that they took on how many people, and basically the questions were, how many people are happy with their job? And surprisingly, it was about 65%, 66%, 2/3 of the people that were polled globally said that they were happy with their jobs. And the connection had to do with education, and it also had to do with the amount of money that they were making. And I'm sure there were some other reasons as to why, they were satisfied with their jobs. Maybe it gave them a contentment in their spirit and a contentment in their hearts. But 66, 2/3 of the world globally said that they were quite satisfied with their jobs. And I recently had to shift my focus in terms of my own attitude. When you've been doing something for a prolonged period of time, many years, you have a tendency to do it robotically. And when I say robotically, you do A, then you do B, then you do C, then you do D or E and F and so forth. And so there's a system that you've developed. But for me as a believer, just doing A, B, C, D, and E as I normally do it did not include God. Because during the time when I'm involved in planning this or planning that, if I've done it so many times, I was not including him. And I got checked on it. When I was talking to you earlier about doing things with your whole heart, that means he has to be involved. No matter how many years you run that business, no matter how many years you've been parenting, no matter how many years you've worked at this job or that job, or done this skill or done this task, he still wants to be involved. Think about it in terms of the potter and the clay. There's scripture in Jeremiah 18, where God tells Jeremiah to go to see the potter. So let's read this. Jeremiah 18, 1-6. This is the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord. Go down to the potter's house, and there I will give you my message. So I went down to the potter's house, and I saw him working at the wheel. But the pot he was shaping from the clay was marred in his hands. So the potter formed it into another pot, shaping it as seemed best to him. Then the word of the Lord came to me. He said, "Can I not do with you, Israel, as this potter does? Declares the Lord, like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, Israel." So God was having Jeremiah to talk to Israel and telling him that he's going to remake them again. If you've ever seen pottery being done, whether in real life or on television, you know that there's a way to do it where you're molding it with your hands and you're mixing it with different ingredients. Clay comes from the dirt, broken down rock over a long period of time. And so you grab the clay and then you mix it with water and other things and you mold it with your hands on a little spinning wheel, something like that. I forgot what it's called, but you're molding it. And once you get into a particular shape and model it, then you let it dry. Once you let it dry, you're pretty satisfied with, after you molded it rather, and you're pretty satisfied with how it looks, you're going to let it dry. And then you're going to put it in the oven and heat it up. And then you're going to fry it. I call it fry it because the temperatures are extremely high. There's a lot of pressure, okay? Because you want that vessel to be able to handle water or handle whatever you put inside of it. And so that made me think about the 34% that were either sitting in the middle or those who were dissatisfied. And there's a way for us to come out of just being, I'm just here just to work. I'm just here to do what I got to do. And being happy at your job. Being content. And when I say content, I'm not saying don't have dreams and don't have hopes. I'm not saying that you can't strive for better. I'm not saying that you can't be looking for something else, educational wise, starting your own business, doing some things on the side, turning your hobby into an actual business. That's not what I'm talking about when I say contentment. When I'm talking about contentment, is the murmuring and the complaining that we do. And I've done it, so I know and understand what happens when you are in that state of mind where you're not content. Many would love to trade places with you, but we don't see that part. We don't see the overall benefit of the job. We talking just basic needs. You don't even have to exactly just embrace this job as a career, full-time career, but you need to understand and have, I guess, a respect, if you want to say it, use the word, a respect for the fact that you are here. But you know you got big dreams and you know that you're going to be here at some point because you're working not only this basic skills job, the job that pays the bills right now, but you're also working on the side for something better. And better is indeed possible. But the thing is right now, 34%, don't be miserable. Don't be miserable where you are. Like I told you before, the Lord had to shift my focus. The Lord had to shift my focus back to Him. Who are you serving? Who are you doing this for? Are you trying to please man or are you trying to please me? Because man is never going to be satisfied. But there's freedom when you know that no matter what happens on this earth, no matter who's your boss, no matter who's your new boss, no matter who's working next to you, no matter who's around you, if your focus is doing it unto the Lord, there's a contentment that happens. So you're not swayed left and right when things happen in your life because you did it unto the Lord. So the pressure sometimes in these situations comes when the Lord is shaping you and molding you. He's remaking you. See, as we were growing up, and I know you know this, we were exposed to quite a bit of things that shaped who we are. And it shaped our attitude and it shaped our mindsets. So when we get to a job or we get to something where we are having to toe the line, so to speak, sometimes people trigger us. And we want to leave, and we want to leave prematurely. But the Lord knows exactly what he's doing. And I know it's hard for you to believe and hard for you to accept and know you don't like that he's using your neighbor. He's using that coworker. He's using that boss to put something inside of you, to mold and shape the part of you that's marred. To mold and shape that part of you that's not strong, that's weak. He needs you to hold whatever he wants to put on the inside of you. Yes, he is using those people. But also, on the other end of the spectrum, you can learn a lot. Stop looking at what they do wrong, what they said, how they acted, how they looked. What can I learn from this situation? Nothing happens by accident. It took me a long time because I used to believe that. I used to think, oh, I made a mistake here and I made a mistake there. And yeah, I probably did in some cases. But in some cases, I did not make a mistake. I did make the choice I was supposed to make. And things weren't running smoothly. They weren't running smoothly, so I'm thinking I had missed God. No. I don't think I did. I find out later that I did not miss God because I learned so much and I grew so much in that situation. It was tight, but it was right. It was right for the path that I was supposed to be on. It grew me. It was amazing how I can still work and do what I got to do, no matter who's saying what about me. It's amazing how I moved from a person who had her feelings on her shoulders or feelings on her sleeve to working in spite of. Do it anyway. Solve it anyway. Go anyway. There may be nobody in the room that likes you. God loves you and he sent you. So no weapon formed against you is going to prosper. Think about I'm talking to the 34%. And perhaps some of the 66%. Maybe if you could just chime in the comments if you want to. You can. Contentment is so, so important. Do not live your life in misery. I want you to be satisfied in the small places. We're going to have to learn to be satisfied in the small places. At the meager beginnings, so to speak. And some of you who are part of the 34%, you just need to pick that dream back up. There's a way to keep your job and keep your basic skills going and handle what's going on in your dream world. It's funny that the word that they use for the pot and the potter and the clay, that the clay needs to mature. They use the word mature. Mature meaning that it needs to be able to hold water. So I want you to think about that word mature. As you grow older and you become an adult, you can be an adult in numbers, but an immature child when it comes to your emotions, an immature child when it comes to communication, an immature child when it comes to anything that's happening just in relationships, period. Because you were not taught, you were not put in situations where you could learn. You did not see what you needed to see growing up. So when you got older, you did not know any better. And so I want you to think about the jobs. I'm still talking to the 34%. I'm still talking to the 34% who are living life or lives that are unsatisfactory, unsatisfied. You're not content. You're not happy. You're not finding the joy. Sometimes the Lord puts you in situations where you can learn. Sometimes God puts you in situations where you can unlearn some of the things that we learn. I know I've been put in many situations where I had to unlearn certain things. especially if they were not benefiting me. Certainly if they were not communicated effectively to me. So I gave an example one time about the ant. We look at ants and we just think that they're all busy bees in the ant colony, but that's not really the case. That was a study that was done for a particular group of ants, and they looked and they saw that some of the ants in the colonies did absolutely nothing. It was a set crew of people, not people, but ants that actually did all the work. Well, in the experiment, they took all of the ants that were not working. They took the ones that were not working and put them and transplanted them into a different colony. And so in that colony, guess what? The ants were paying attention. They weren't working in one spot, but when they moved and they were transplanted to another spot, they worked. Because they were sitting still and it looked like they were doing nothing, but they were also watching all the other ants do their jobs. So it's like by observation, they had learned the job to do and what to do, how to collect food, how to set up things in the hive so things can be orderly. And so you never know why you're at a place. God could be molding and shaping you. And he could be using that awful co-worker to do it. That awful boss. But what he wants you to do is shift your focus in what you're looking at. Who you're looking at. You're looking at him. See, your boss is going to change. That co-worker is going to go somewhere else. Maybe be transferred somewhere. Certain things as far as the earth is concerned and people that you're dealing with are concerned, they're going to change. He never ever changes. So instead of getting there 5 minutes till, you might need to get to work 15, 20 minutes early. Instead of leaving right at 3 or right at 4 or right at 5, make sure everything's straightened around you. Look around you. Make sure that you make accomplishments. Make sure you finish at least part of the workload, a part of that list. Make sure if you're doing something on the assembly line that your section is straight. Because you are a person of excellence and you are a person of quality, and that's how you're being developed. No, it's not not easy. It is not nice. But think about the immature side of you does not want to do what it does not want to do. It's like a child. And you're trying to tell the child to do something because you're older. You know better. Come, little one, let's do this. But they buck against you because they don't want to do it. They want to do something else. But guess what? You're the parent. You're the adult. You know best. God's the parent. God in the spirit realm is the voice that you need to be listening to. He knows better. And so whether you are, I guess, a believer, I wish you were. He does this. Let me pause. There's an expectation from the Lord regarding believers. And he's expecting us to look to him. He's the author of our faith. That means he's given us the idea. And he's the finisher of our faith. Which means he is going to complete it. Or help us complete it. So 65%. I think I became a part of the 65% again once I shifted my focus and I was doing things to serve. I was doing things for him. I was looking at him in all situations. I'm not going to say it's not a struggle. That would be a whole lie. But I am saying that my mind will go back to the center of the joy that I'm supposed to have. And then I'm asking questions throughout the classroom, throughout the day in the classroom. I'm asking him certain things. Lord, help me with this. Lord, help me with that. Lord, help me say it in a way that they understand. I am including him. Remember, we talked about sometimes we doing things robotically when he wants us to include him. Yes, he wants you to plan. Yes, he wants you to write down and jot down the things for the day. But he wants to be included in the things for the day. And he also wants you to be a tad bit flexible. Just in case he tells you to shift to the left. When you wrote it on your paper, I'm going to shift to the right. We have to be flexible. But yeah, I am here to talk to you about our attitude and about who our focus is and about who we are, what we are doing and who we are doing it for. The people around us can be awful. The tornadoes in the workplace can put us down. But if he be lifted up, if he is your focus, then yeah, it's gonna all work out for your good. Like I said, we redefine beauty from the inside out. And on the inside, he wants us clean. Because if we're clean on the inside, it's gonna show on the outside. Thank you for watching. You have a blessed week.
If you're looking for a life coach, go to www.JeannetteMJones.com and sign up for a free 15-minute complimentary session. I assure you, you will not be disappointed.
You know, when I first started my television show, I was terrified. One, because it was uncharted territory. And another reason was because of the name itself, Now You See Me. It gave the air of transparency. And I wasn't sure if I was ready for everybody to see me. But I said yes. And it's been a journey that I will never forget nor regret. It was maturing. It caused me to open up. It caused me to not be afraid of my feelings. It was fun to create. Even if some of the topics, I will be honest, I didn't really want to talk about, but I felt in my heart of hearts that that's what I was supposed to be talking about that week. But as you go through one thing and you're at one level, then God puts you in a position where you go to the next level. I have a channel, Filling in the Gap, and the name itself speaks volumes. It means that we're going to be filling in the spaces and giving people information that's going to move them from point A to point B. I know in my life, it seems like I was right there on the edge of something always, and then somebody came by to give me what I needed to push me on to the next level. And that's what I want for this channel. So if you are a person that feels like God has called you and you have a vision, you have something to share with the people. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be cooking, it could be exercise, it could be whatever. But you're really, really feeling like what you have is what somebody else needs. Then you may be the person that's perfect for this channel. Click on the link, fill in your information, and you will get a link to the session via email. Okay? So I am looking forward to talking to you. I am looking forward to talking to you, and I'm excited for you. I'm very excited for you because I know on the other end, there's just people recognizing your brilliance. Go ahead, sign up.